baby. It's time to ride the funk train. Man, you just came in. I thought I was going to have to do this by myself for a few minutes. We got Tracy's here, the star of WJHCAM. And then also we have a guest who is part of the extended Big and Funky family. Nick Katsoros will be on in a little bit. Can you hear me? I don't like how you said you're sick. Are you all right?
I'm going to live.
Are you going to... Can you get me sick through the fiber optics here, or are we all right?
No.
What do you got?
It's not contagious via digital whatevers. It's like a cold or allergies or something. It's not COVID.
Well, we're just tired of COVID, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had an aunt die last week of COVID, though. So that's still rolling around.
It's still killing people.
It's still killing people. It's about 6 million people worldwide, something like that.
I haven't been... I can't keep up with all that.
Why not? You just look at the page and go, okay.
Because I don't want to.
Oh, it's too depressing for you?
It makes me sad. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. So it kicked the Spanish flu's ass. I was always wanting to know, or I was always curious if COVID would elapse the Spanish flu, and it did. Because I think that was the worst. That's interesting. The worst American pandemic, was that the Spanish flu, or was that smallpox around the? That's interesting. I wonder if COVID will be the world champion of asshole virus contagions.
I mean,
or the United States champion.
I have no idea,
since we're wrestling centric. Well, lots to talk about on the broadcast. This is a big week for me personally. Finally have moved out of the mothership, which I resided for 7 years in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and ran a taxi cab company. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the last thing to come out of. That was the first thing we took into the mothership when we moved to Pigeon Forge. That's the last thing. I almost forgot this. The last thing out of it was hanging from the ceiling, and my daughter said, "Hey, don't forget the disco ball." And I was like, "Oh yeah." So we got the disco ball. Last thing out of the building that's not going to be thrown away. So a little emotional today, and I don't normally talk about personal things, but the queen of the Funk family is going into surgery tomorrow, and we need to pray for her. I'm kind of emotional and tired. I'm almost 50 years old. I moved everything by myself except for my daughter, which my feet are killing me. I had a sugar drop. I feel like I'm just a big complaining vagina of a mess. I'm not even a vagina. Vaginas are strong. I'm a big whimpering. What's the weakest body part? A quivering tendon.
Pinky toe.
Pinky toe. I'm a ripped meniscus. Anyway, that's what I am this evening. And
I would like to point out that you did not ask anyone for help that I heard.
Well, my friends are too old. I mean, everybody's going to blow out their back and blow their knees out. I'm not doing that. When we were 20 and we moved around, because I had a few homes back then, we'd have big parties and, pizzas and stuff like that. But man, when you're my age, you can't ask your friends to help you move. That's the worst thing in the world. Asking a guy to help you move is like going all the way. I think they said that on Seinfeld, but that's the truth. That is the ultimate thing. When you ask a man, "Hey, will you help me move?" That's basically saying, I'm dropping my pants. Will you do me a favor or something like that? Well, spiritually,
that's the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever heard. I've heard a lot of really ridiculous things.
It's too big of an ask to ask somebody our age. And I just wanted to save the money. I mean, it's not, oh, woe is me. I could have hired 2 men in a truck, and I just didn't feel like paying the money. Why? You're sick? You couldn't have helped?
No, I couldn't have helped, but you could have put out a thing on do you have a close friends list on your Facebook? We've
talked about this before. I don't have close friends. This is what happens. I don't.
You could have put it in the group chat.
This is what happens. This is why I feel like I'm closer to people than I actually am. Since I edit all this stuff, I see you guys all the time. So it's like I feel like I'm hanging out with Candy and Travis and you and Luke and everybody else, Kirby and everybody. And I feel like, oh, and it's like I haven't seen you guys in months sometimes, but I feel like you guys are around all the time. And I'll go through little phases where I'll get a crush on one of you girls because I see you all the time, and then that goes away. And I think I told you a couple of weeks ago I was editing some of Nancy's stuff, and I was like, you're kind of hot, and you're like,
you're retelling a story on the podcast.
I'm not.
Like, you've already told this story.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I'm tired today. We got Nick Katsaurus on the. I'm doing good. Leave me alone. So here's what we got going on in the world of Big and Funky. I don't like how my hair looks. What is going on?
It looks fine.
It looks like a Superman curl. There we go. That's better. I like it.
Fine.
I like it scruffy. Anyway, so not only is a lot of personal stuff happening, like we already talked about, what's happening in the world of our entertainment. You all right?
I've just got a little bit of a headache. I mean, I am still sick.
Need to take a knee? All right, let's get through this, and we'll hug each other at the end. Okay, so what's happening with Big and Funky? So this last week, we mailed off the final copy of WJHC AM. So that's going to be at retail, and if you don't know what that is, that's a movie that we made. It's a horror comedy about the end of the world, being Y2K and the return of Christ. It's the reviews from the few people that have seen it said it's going to be a damn good, funny movie, and that's why we put a little extra funk into it, because we wanted it. It's going worldwide. It's going to be in Pakistan and Peru and Gabon and Equatorial Guinea and all the fun places that I'll never get to visit, but at least our stupid comedy will be there and our wonderful horror. So we put a little extra time into it to make sure it's really, really good. And speaking of that, I was encouraged to refiddle with, refinger, maybe that's not a good word, re-grab ass the hike. So the beginning of the hike's done very well for us. It's won 36 awards. It's been seen by a lot of people, but the beginning of the hike is a little confusing to some. It's a little arty for a campy horror movie. So we kind of did nobody knows what I did, actually. So that's going to be the interesting thing. So if you want to see this new version of the hike, it features Elton Locklear and his friend CV out there in Bladensboro, North Carolina. And if you remember the awful story about me losing my key fob in a field,
yes,
it was filming those two guys. I had to sleep in my car and wait for a tow truck, and I missed 3/4 of the Jets-Panthers game because I was stuck in the middle of nowhere. That's when I needed help. You offered. That was so sweet of you. You offered to come get me, and there was no way I was going to let you do that. My man,
your face offered. Hey, I forgot. Sorry.
You forgot.
You forgot about us.
You big time son of a bitch.
I was playing music, and just everything went away. So sorry about that.
So the beginning, we were talking about what happened this week. The new beginning of the hike is going to be pretty exciting. Introduces comedy, which I think it needs to, because I think it was confusing that it went so funny after being so serious in the beginning. And it's going to introduce the legend of Spearfinger. It's going to introduce how important the necklace is. So it also has a couple of native guys talking and looking sexy, because Elton Locklear is a good-looking guy.
He is a good-looking guy. I saw you tag that guy, and I was like, that is a good-looking guy.
Yeah, I wish I could tag that guy. I wouldn't even know what to do with a guy like that.
Yeah, he's just a handsome man.
Just unless maybe I wandered into a rest stop or something. That'd be the only way I'd have the courage.
If it was dark.
Yeah. Well, and you have, every time I've made a joke on this podcast, I've lost 2 or 3 people that have been watching. That's interesting. Maybe I should be more serious. We've got Nick Katsaurus on the show tonight.
Oh, Nick.
Old Nicky.
That's he's sitting at the other end of the bar at the other side.
There you go. I think
that's one of the twins.
Tracy's trying to cover up her Cold sore.
Cold sore.
What do
You
you
got a
got?
cold sore?
No,
A
I
herpes thing?
don't.
We won't pick on
I'm
you tonight.
tired. I don't feel good.
She don't
But
feel
I'm
good.
here.
Leave her alone, and that's appreciated. We appreciate that.
Well, and just to tickle the asses with a feather, I can't talk about it this week, maybe next week, but because I have signed a non-disclosure agreement for something that could be very, very good for Big Luke, and in symbiosis, that would be great for Big and
by extension.
Yeah, it would be great for Big and Funky Productions. So, wish me luck.
Yeah, this is the type of thing. If you followed us for any length of time, this is the type of thing that we've been involved with before, numerous times.
Well, this is a completely. We were signed to develop TV shows for production companies that have never came to fruition. All they actually did was steal our ideas and give them to the Ghost Brothers or the Tennessee Wraith Chasers, but this is something completely different than that. This isn't a one of those talent holding deals.
Okay. We were on Swap Shop last year. They were developing a TV show around me. They were developing a TV show around you. They wanted to sign Wrestling with Ghosts, 3 different companies. We won a competition for Destination America for being the best paranormal team and the new team or whatever.
I will say this. This is not us developing a show. This would be me entering a show that is already in development.
Okay. Well, I'm for you. I'm just saying.
No, believe me. I'm as skeptical as I am excited.
I want you to get the paycheck. I want you to get the rub.
I don't care about the paycheck. I care about the rub. I know. Me and you know what. Yeah, me and you know what pay. I'll lose money. Because I won't be able to play music because I'll be off filming. Well, I'll lose money.
It depends. Yeah. When you get into season 2.5, that's when you start making the money. But anyway, it's exciting. I'm very happy for Luke. It sounds like a pretty good show. And then the
concept is freaking fantastic.
We're probably talking too much. But
I'm not allowed. My NDA prevents me from talking about what the concept of the show is. Yeah.
Can we say what it is and just use rhyming words? Like
no.
Okay.
No. Don't get me fired from this thing before I even fucking.
I'm gonna get you fired. I got you fired from Swap Shop. I'm gonna get you fired from this one.
No.
I know. I still feel like an ass. For that one.
Yeah, this would be joining a show that is already in development. It would be like, like they start writing movies and then they have them in development and then they cast the actors. That's what this is.
Okay. I'm excited.
But I'm still 25% of me thinks it'll happen. The other 75% is like, something will go wrong.
Yeah, because we were at 90% for Swap Shop, and it did happen. Swap Shop did happen, just not with us.
Just didn't happen with us.
That's right. Even though we developed that damn show,
which is good because I'd much rather. This show that we're doing is 100% in Big Luke's wheelhouse, or would be 100% in Big Luke's wheelhouse. Swap Shop. What the fuck do I know about any of that shit?
Right. Well, and also the introduction of the movies, I think, is what's more. I'd rather, if we were in Swap Shop, we wouldn't have done The Hike or this other movie. Or
we were done with The Hike. Weren't we done with The Hike when we?
Oh, sir, no. That was we did
The Hike 2 years ago already.
Yeah, we did The Hike because we had nothing.
Netflix never contacted us again.
That's right. So it's weird what's going on with time. What was I going to say? Oh, and next week, the other thing I wanted to brush up on the people that are watching this lovely podcast all over the world. Camp Smokey, we're going to still be looking to start shooting that in April. And me and Luke are getting together next week to lay the groundwork for our 3rd movie. And I'm telling you, when we get 3 movies released, and I really think it took about 10 months to be done with WJHC. It took about 8 or 9 months to get done with a hike. I think Camp Smokey will be done in about 5 months, and then we'll start working on our 4th movie right after that. But after we get our 3rd movie done, we'll start rocking the convention.
The thing about Camp Smokey is I think we're going to be able to film like the meat of it in a week. the me and Tracy stuff or the me by myself stuff will be able to film in like a week, but then it's going to take a lot longer than that to get the other aspects of it together.
But it'll be good. It'll be nice to get a huge chunk out of the way. Well,
and next week, me and Vinny will be filming the teaser trailer for Camp Smokey.
That's right. I can't wait. And that will be exciting. We talked about the concept. So on the show tonight, a friend of Big and Funky. His name is Nick Ketsoros. Hey, who is this guy? Oh. Yeah, there's a bunch of knuckleheads running. He's famous. He's going to be even more famous. And then he's going to be obnoxious and tall, not just tall. But Nick, he does a lot of different things. He was a punk musician. He had his own podcast called Tin Can Media. He's politically minded. He was the social media manager of William Sanderson, the guy that was Larry from Newhart. Larry and my brother Daryl, my other brother Daryl. He's starring in the new movie WJHCAM as a confused elderly caller. And the only guy who was a caller that didn't try to kill me, that voiced his own character. We used voice actors over the kind of did the snapped thing.
Well, he's got a great voice.
He does. He's from Maryland too. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you the husband.
Who else is from Maryland?
Me. The prisoner. Husband. Nick Ketsoros. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, pandemic pals. Can you hear me?
God, you're overmodulated. Yeah, you're overmodulated.
Oh, okay. What about now?
Back it up a little bit.
Am I cool?
It's a little loud.
Oh, God. I don't know if I can get much quieter than that.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
That's a dynamic microphone you got there, man.
That's right. Brand spanking new, man. I'm inaugurating it. I did one little rap video with it, and this is only the second time I'm ever using this mic.
Does it have a gain on it that you can turn down before you blow our ear shits out of our shit?
Oh, there it goes.
What about now?
That's a little bit
better.
better.
So much better.
Hold on. More. That's the minimum.
That's good.
That's beautiful.
Now you're with the rest of us.
Yeah.
Now you're on planet Earth.
And I don't want to be on planet Earth.
Well, you
have another option? Is there a...
yeah, it's
Column B?
It's a little shitty right now on planet Earth.
Yes.
Now Nick lives in a sniper's nest. The location of his house is like the perfect sniper location in case there was ever a convoy of Russian military coming down the road. You know, you got plausible deniability with distance, but you've got good sight.
I actually call this place Meth Mountain. I used to tell people I live in the Smoky Mountains, so when you get off the exit, you're like, oh man, look at all the smoke rolling off the hills. Is this like a beautiful expression of God? I'm like, no, just meth labs are burning. All over the mountain, burning meth labs. That's all we have out here.
Is that where that comes from? I always thought it was God's beauty.
Nope, not God's beauty.
Just a bunch
exploding meth labs.
Well, Luke and I are, well, I used to be, but being in Pigeon Forge, we hear.
Yeah, he was a meth head. He was really into meth.
Who was? God?
You.
Oh, no. What I was saying is that we were in Pigeon Forge in Gatlinburg area. We get a lot of tourists from Ohio, and they actually ask what time you turn the smoke on because they think it's some sort of contraption. But now I think about something else. I'm going to tell them that it's the meth labs exploding is what all that is.
Please, carry on the legacy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I like that. So, you wanted to be...
Can I say real quick thanks? Because I have not been on the air on any podcast or interviews for over a year.
Well,
I actually kind of walked away from public life in what year is this? 2021, early 2021.
Well, why he doesn't. Why did you decide to do that?
I mean, you kind of know my story, man. Things were just getting so fucking insane. I actually deleted my Twitter. I had like 10,000 followers on Twitter. Deleted that. Was getting threats of people calling my work and trying to get me fired, so I deleted my LinkedIn. I mean, I didn't do it because of them. I did it. And basically, I'm not going to get political, but it basically came down to this. Ask me to get on the front lines and fight for LGBTQ rights, I'm there. Ask me to fucking sign a petition to stop a war, I'm there. But I'm not taking a brick to the head trying to prove to assholes that the world's not flat. Or that Hillary Clinton isn't a fucking Highlander that drinks baby blood to gain immortality. I'm not fucking getting into those kind of fights. We can have that talk off air, man. So I was this is just all too ridiculous. And like the market's oversaturated with podcasts. I hit my 500th episode. And I was like, dude, I've kind of I've had magicians on, stuntmen, like every kind of person, models, every musician I ever grew up loving that I could get a hold of. And I just kind of stopped being curious. And that's a dangerous place to be when you're hosting shows. I just wasn't curious anymore.
Well, let me ask you something. We might be on different sides of this whole thing. I've always been a very liberal-minded guy, there's other liberal-minded people that people forget are left-wingers, like Bill Maher and Joe Rogan.
I would put myself in that Bill Maher camp.
Yeah, because that's what I feel with I feel like when Ronald Reagan said, I didn't leave the Democratic Party, the Democratic Party left me. I feel the same way. I feel it just got it got so stupid that I can't. I'm still the same. I still feel the same, but it's gone so far left, and you have to argue about pronouns and shit that I'm like, I can't be part of that.
See, I feel the opposite. Like a lot of stuff that people used to call me a commie for, those same people, like I remember back in during Bush, I was like, people should be able to come across the borders and take all these jobs and not go through the correct channels. Oh, you just hate capitalism. They're keeping our prices down. And even more recently, 3-4 years ago, I was like, man, dude, we have to do something. Facebook is too big to be censoring us. I understand it's their platform, but I don't want to spend an hour writing something and then have Facebook take it down. Oh, let's start your own Facebook. That's capitalism, baby. That's the free market. And then those same people, as soon as Trump got kicked off the platform, they were like, it's socialism. Take Facebook down. Take Twitter down. All these people who were against me now have the same opinions as me, but somehow I'm still some kind of radical leftist because we have these same opinions, but for different reasons. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Same with war. I remember when the Republicans were the party of war, and now it's like, oh, you leftists just want to have wars everywhere. You're a globalist. It's gotten too crazy, dude. It's one of the reasons I walked away, because I felt like I was just living in a rerun.
Don't you feel like they had what they called, the great party switch back in their civil rights voting days in the 60s? I feel like it's kind of happening now, where the left and the right are switching sides again.
Absolutely, man. The working class is moving more towards the right, and the elite is moving more towards the left, and just regular Joes like us who just want to live our lives and for everybody to kind of have a fair shake, we're all getting fucking trampled on because of the extremes on both sides.
Yep. I would agree with that 150%. Nick is not, I wouldn't say that we agree a lot politically. We agree some. But the crazy thing is he's right on the money when it comes to the pulse of what's happening politically in the country and how.
Well, he's not a hotshot like you and Tracy running for governor. Shit.
Oh no.
Well, we did so well with that.
I would not last it. I always said I would have the only TED talk that ends in a stabbing. I piss people off too fucking much to ever run for any office.
Well, do you think? Why do you get so vitriolic? Is it because you care so damn much, or do you get are you mad? Why do you think you get? Because you've told me privately, and I'm not going to say everything you said privately.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm open book.
But like,
you call it, ask for those dick pics.
Well, that was private. But the other private stuff I was talking about was the, it felt like you said kind of like the wheels were flying off the truck a little bit, like you're going a little nutso. What made it you being involved in social media and you doing podcasts and you trying to reach out, you trying to proselytize and all this stuff? What do you think made you just go like and just want to give it all up?
That's easy, dude. Words matter, and to a huge swath of this country, it doesn't. If back when I was with the Ignorance Equation, that whole platform, because I was posting about this on MySpace. I started seeing the country getting divided back in like 2006, 2007. And that's why I started the Ignorance Equation, was to try to have civil conversations and civil discourse between both sides. And I remember talking to a lot of those Trump cats, and no matter what you said, it was wrong. So if you were like, hey man, why can't we just have a civil conversation? Oh, little pussy snowflake, you need a safe space? But if you came at him hard, oh, see, you leftist, I thought you guys were supposed to be tolerant. No matter how you approached them, they always found a way to flip it where you were the villain, you were the person who hated America, you were the one that was saying the wrong thing. And it got to the point, you're right, man, where I was actually, when I was traveling on the road, people would sit there and threaten me. I'd be like, all right, dude, let's meet. Let's meet in person and fight. I only have one rule. We find a local gym, we put the gloves on and get in a fucking match, and you let me film it. That way you can't...
You want to put gloves on?
Yep. That way you can't shoot me, sue me, or call the fucking cops on me if things don't go your way. Well, you meet me in a ring and put on the gloves, and I will meet anybody anywhere and fight them. Just let me film it.
Well, stuff can't get that out of control.
Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. My wife used to get worried, and I was like, dude, I'm in my mid-40s at that time, like, and I'm fighting other dudes around my age. Like, we're gonna get exhausted and pass out before we do any actual damage. But no one would ever meet me. I even offered to wear an Obama mask. I was like, dude, I'll wear a fucking Obama mask, whatever it takes to get you into the ring. Wouldn't you love to beat some sweet libtard ass? Could never get any of these loudmouths online to actually meet me in person.
Now, me and Vinny went to a party about a year ago where there was we'll say extreme leftist, like extreme, defund the police, and he was on the whole huge defund the police kick, and he had something privately to a guy about his dead mother, and that other guy was there, and he was a big motherfucker, and he punched this guy dead in the face. The defund the police guy, the first thing he did was call the police.
Yep, he became the victim. That's what those big mouths always do, dude. I call GoFundMe, for the most part, I call GoFundMe fuck-up insurance. You sit there and you get yourself in a situation by your own stupidity or bad behavior, and then you want everybody else to pick up the check.
Yep.
Especially when you fuck up and make a movie and you need other people to pay for it. That's what we do.
Well, that's crowdsourcing. That's different than GoFundMe. Crowdsourcing's totally cool, but GoFundMe, like, oh, I said some horrible shit and now my business is collapsing. I need money. That's just fuck-up insurance. I'm sorry, I'm not paying your fuck-up insurance.
The fucking MyPillow guy. I keep seeing commercials for him. They canceled me, and I need your support by buying a $90 pillow for $25. Like a $90, even $25 is too much for a fucking pillow.
How do I get canceled on this level? How do I reach as many people getting that canceled? I just wish I could get canceled enough to reach the millions of people these assholes reach.
Yeah.
So the MyPillow guy has a commercial right now where he's saying I've been canceled and I need.
Yeah, he goes. They China's stealing my ideas and all this shit, and he's like, but to thank you for being supportive.
Does he think that he invented the pillow? What does that mean?
I don't know, but no, he's like, and there's the king size MyPillow, which is normally $90, and I was like, what the fuck, $90 for a pillow?
And not to mark on your skit that you did at Big and Funky Productions on the YouTube page, the MyPillow commercial with Big Luke. But for $90, that pillow better have a vagina. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. That pillow better fuck me for $90.
Right.
Well, I'm sure anybody's falling to MyPillow guy is probably fucking their pillow. That's a pretty safe bet.
I'm gonna tell you, $30. He's like, and I'll sell it to you for the low price of $30. I'm like, I ain't paying $30 for a fucking pillow.
We steal pillows where I come from, baby.
There you go.
Well, yeah. I do have a MyPillow, and I stole it from the hotel we used to work at.
Good for you.
And you know what? I've got about 6 pillows on my bed. I couldn't tell you which one's the MyPillow.
Ah, well.
You have to take the pillowcase off.
Yeah.
And look at the printing. Do you wash your pillowcase?
Well, I mean, I know when I wash the pillowcases what pillow it is.
Okay.
But he's yeah. He just saying
the best.
I would say the MyPillow is the one closest to the right side of the bed.
We're giving the MyPillow guy way too much free press.
Well, I will tell you what.
Jason Momoa is blowing me up. By the way,
we will destroy that argument. But I will say I do know which one is the bamboo pillow, and it is my favorite.
What is a bamboo pillow?
A bamboo.
I heard that
pillow.
Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet were getting back together, giving it another go.
Well, he's calling me, and I'm going to call him right back after the podcast. But Lenny will be calling me here in fucking 5 minutes. What is a bamboo pillow?
It's a pillow stuffed with bamboo, not the insides the bamboo, like the marrow. And oh man, it's so stiff and comfortable. That's the right pillow. Fucking my pillow. Go buy bamboo pillows.
Well, that sounds like that's going to China. That money there.
Dude, there's bamboo fields in Cherokee, North Carolina, you dick.
We were there together, holding hands.
I know, skipping.
Yes, singing.
We frolicking through the bamboo.
We peed on the same tree. It was beautiful. Across streams. We're like Ghostbusters. We sent Gozer back.
We got to make a pillow out of that. We need to make a pillow out of that fucking tree that we pissed on together.
Just the imagery of this was totally worth me calling in. I don't even want to talk. Just tell me about your pillow fantasies.
Well, we walked on the beach and stepped in some piss clams and rubbed each other's back with sand and our ass necks.
A lot of your relationship is very piss oriented.
It is. It's kind of weird, but
one of our
whatever we're into. It's 2022. We're allowed to do what we want.
That's true.
One of our best ghost stories involves piss and a Wendigo. But so Nick, you're here. You were in our movie. You did a great job. You haven't seen it yet, but it's going to be out within weeks, probably a month or two. But it'll be.
Hey man, and let me thank you too for letting me rename my character after Chris's dad. Chris recently passed away. He was so decomposed. They don't know yet. They haven't got an autopsy back yet. I just talked to his stepbrother, so they don't know if he OD'd or suicide or what exactly happened. But I know that me telling him his dad, because he was going through a really rough time. I know me telling Chris that his dad's name was going to be in that movie that we named a character after him brought him a lot of happiness in his final days. So I wanted to thank you for that.
And now your wife was in the movie too, in a pretty prominent.
Oh yeah, she did a lot better than me. I suck at acting. She was actually good.
She was great. So many people. Actually, she was a caller with her own voice. Never mind. But anyway, she did great. Damn, I mean, everybody in this movie did good. I can't wait for you to see it. But you did a movie with us. Your wife did a movie with us. She did a great job. You both did. And now you're
filmed right here on Meth Mountain.
That's right.
Our scenes.
Your scenes in Meth Mountain. We put that in the credits. So what's got you back wanting to reach out to the human, just to see, are you waiting to see your hand get slapped, or are you trying to test the waters, or?
No, I'm actually just being social. I like you guys. I don't consider this a public thing. I'm just chatting with people I like.
Oh, okay.
I'm not here to promote anything or do anything. I'm just a bored fucking crazy recluse now up on Meth Mountain.
Are you working from home?
Yeah, I've been working from home since 2015, and actually Saturday is going to be my 10-year anniversary with my company. Really good company.
He makes meth.
He makes meth pillows.
I make flavored meth.
Oh yeah, the apple pie is to die for.
It is. It is. I'm glad you actually pointed that out. It doesn't get enough credit.
The sour apple, I don't like that one. Butterscotch Ripple, pretty good.
No, but I'm lucky with the company I'm with, and I don't have to leave the house. I've only been into the office, which is up in Knoxville, maybe 3 times in the last 7 years.
That's pretty wild. Now, do you think that hurts? I used to work from home. I've done that a couple times, and I think it's terrible. I hate not really being a part of something social. There's something about not having to bathe and not having to get in the car and not having to look decent. I think it affects me. Does it affect you that way, or do you like?
Yeah, dude. I don't wear pants most days. How would that be a negative?
Well, when I go into the office without pants, they tend to frown on that. I normally get written up for that. But being at home with no pants, after a few days, I feel like I'm turning into the Apocalypse Now people or something. Like I'm starting to answer the phone differently, and I don't know.
I mean, I'm not turning into Gollum over here or anything. I'm the same cat I've always been, dude. I mean, I get out in the summers. I do a lot of my traveling in the summer to kind of make up for all the time I spend at home. And I have a lot of friends all over the place and a lot of different performer friends I get to hang out and do cool shit with. So, and I can work from the road. So, usually in the summers, we spend 4 or 5 weeks on the road and just do cool shit.
I can tell you from Maryland. You got to go, Luke?
Yeah, speaking of performer, I got to go get on stage.
All right, man.
Right
I'll
on,
talk to
man.
you guys
Good luck.
later. Good seeing you, Nick.
Right on. Same here, man.
What
Bye,
about me,
Tracy. You're beautiful.
Okay.
Bye, Luke.
Vinny,
What
blow
about-
me.
Shit. So I tell you, from Maryland too, the way you said "home and road," it cracks me up. So it makes me miss home. The long O's, homes, roads.
You got it, man.
Yeah. Tracy, you're quiet. I know you're sick. Do you have anything to ask Nick? Do you want to talk to him about anything? Got any questions?
I don't. I've got sinus pressure. I've got no.
Vinny's
I don't have
afraid
any
to
thoughts in my head
probe.
right now.
Vinny's afraid to probe too deeply because anytime I had him on the podcast, our half-hour interviews turned into 2-hour political conversations. So I think he's trying to keep things surface because he doesn't want to get down the fucking rabbit hole with me.
Oh no, it's not that at all. I just, it's good to have you on, and it's good to have you. I always feel bad. I always talk over Tracy and Amber and Kirby and Sheena and all the girls when they're on, so I always try to get them to involve. And she's just looking like, I don't know. You're looking like you're looking at us like a lean cuisine in the microwave that you don't really want to eat or something. That's what you're looking like. But you're sick, so I'm going to give you that. See, look at you. Look, that's what you look at the lean cuisine.
I don't feel that way at all. I feel like you're looking at me like I'm totally charming and enchanting. I feel like a very welcomed guest. Thank you.
And look at that shirt. That is a snazzy shirt.
I'm just trying to mimic your style.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I've had a real crazy ass day, so I'm actually just wearing a mink and that's it. So I'm kind of like working from home. So you got a taste of acting with us, and you did that role. Have you ever done anything like that before? TV?
So I did. An activist friend reached out to me. This is 2015 when I was actually doing some activism work. I did part of a music video for Rooftop Revolutionaries. I don't know if you want to call that acting. I just had a bit thing in that. And then in 2020, I was actually in New York in February of 2020, late February, performing in a play, Katie McKell's Circle of Eyes.
Nice.
Me and Danielle and my friend April went out there and performed in that, and I fucking hated it. I hate acting.
Aww.
It's even worse on stage because people are watching you, and I couldn't get any of the blocking. I remember lines real good. I have a really sharp memory, but I couldn't get the blocking down. So I always felt like I was standing in front of someone and obstructing their view, and I felt like an asshole, and I did not like being on stage at all. I didn't mind the movie as much because I was on my own home turf, and we could do a retake if I totally fucked things up.
Yeah.
But on stage, man, no, not my thing.
Yeah, stage acting is definitely harder.
But Dee's a theater kid. She loved it. She rocked it. My friend April actually made a mistake in the start of the show. I think got pretty frustrated with her. So luckily, I didn't make any kind of outstanding mistakes. But Dee was running circles around me. Like I said, she's a theater kid, man. She's got acting in her blood. I just want to... Yeah, she can... Oh, yeah, she's got a hell of a pipes on her. I just want to kind of pop into weird places and, just kind of show up like I did in your movie for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And out the back door... It's like skydiving, dude. I always said the best part of skydiving is bragging about skydiving. I fucking hated skydiving. But when me and my 5 single guy friends rolled up into Fuddruckers, I couldn't shut up about it. The waitress came up you get your own food, but then someone comes around and you need a drink real full, and I'm like, what do you got for guys that jump out of planes? We work up an appetite jumping out of planes, baby.
Now
that's the best part of skydiving. The actual skydiving sucked.
You hated skydiving. Did you scream the entire way down? Were you scared shitless, or was it a painful sensation? Why did you hate it?
Let me tell you a story, man. My brother, who's wired a lot like me, he's 9 years younger than me, my brother Phil. He went about 2 weeks before me, and he said he hated it. And he's the only person I ever heard said they weren't totally exhilarated by skydiving. Right on. And he's like, I hated it. It was terrible. And I was like, you're out of your mind. What are you talking about? He's like, you're not going to like it. I guarantee. And I don't know if he got into my head or whatever. So we go, there's 9 of us. They take us up in sets of 3. And the thing with skydiving, especially for someone like me that's prone to panic attacks and did a lot of LSD back in the day, so my brain's always got that sharp, flashback edge way in the back of my brain. We jump out of the plane, and it is just pandemonium. It's so much chaos. You can't hear. You can't see. You don't know what direction you're in. And this is what it's like. And then your chute opens, and it's the exact opposite. So you go from... And just that transition from flipping in the air, wind rushing in your head, you can't hear nothing, you can't really see, you don't know what the hell's going on, to your chute opening and you don't feel like you're moving at all, and this total sense of calm. That transition between those two extremes gave me a panic attack. We get down on the ground. There's 9 of us. The instructor comes out. He has certificates for us to prove we went right. Calls out all the names but mine. So now I'm already like in a panic state, and my brain starts going, what if you fucking died? What if he didn't call your name because you actually died? And this is you kind of watching everything play out, and we're going to find out you died. And then I said, sir, do you have a certificate for me? And he came out and brought one, and I knew I was alive. But it was a horrible experience.
Get one for the corpse. Well, was it a tandem jump? You were with somebody else?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, well...
I couldn't even, pull the chute, dude. I was so frazzled. He had to do it. And I was thinking, man, if I did this by myself, I'd be fucking dead.
You'd be
I don't even have the wherewithal to pull the chute. He's like, look at you. They give you a little odometer to see. And they're like, when you reach X amount of feet, this was back in 99, so it was a long time ago. Pull the chute, and I was just so befuddled, didn't know what was going on. And he had to pull it. I felt like an asshole on 20 different levels. Horrible experience.
That was back when the planes had propellers. It's no wonder it was so loud.
And my knees were all messed up because I had to sit on my knees the whole time waiting to jump out. And then you don't have control over it because you're tied to somebody. So he just kind of jumps out without any prep, which is good because I probably would have backed out if it wasn't for that. But I like the fact I could say I did it. And I like trying to pick up women at the Fuddruckers by playing a Top Gun tough guy.
Well, how did that work out for you?
I couldn't even get extra pickles. I suck.
Well, at least you had ammunition in the gun.
You tried.
Did it scare you? Were you scared?
It was just so intense. I don't think fear would be the right word to describe it. It was just so chaotic that I couldn't really get scared until after I was on the ground and I kind of processed what just happened to me.
That's crazy. I had a friend of mine do the same thing. He went up skydive, and it was a bad situation because everything was cool until girls showed up. And then the guys who were, there must be something with penis and love and sex and jumping out of airplanes.
And planes.
So the guys the instructors started acting like assholes and was like going, hey, these chutes don't open all the time, big guy. And my friend was like, oh, fuck. And the guy had a Godsmack t-shirt. If you know anything about music, Godsmack
is lower expectations.
Is a band that's name comes from a low rent Alice in Chains song. Like they couldn't even come up with their own.
I'm familiar with them.
Band. So it was like this band ripped off Alice in Chains and named their band after one of their songs. So not even really that cool of a band. You know, Pink Floyd. People, real bands don't do this. So he was like, I'm in trouble. So it did. The whole time he was joking. He was trying to impress the girls. And at the end, he was sitting there still talking bullshit. And at the end, he was like, whoa, dude, pull your legs up. And it was too late. My friend broke his coccyx on the re-entry. But it's because the guy was wearing a Godsmack t-shirt and he's a fucking chode.
Is there something going on in the 90s where just kind of like hard rock metal gave up? Saliva, Spoon. Once you're naming your band after things you see in your house, and it's like time to wrap it up and call it a day. That's why those Seattle bands and grunge came in. Metal was just getting fucking boring.
There was a lot of spit and moisture bands. They're Mudvayne, Puddle of Mud, Saliva, Spit. At that time, I don't know what was going on. A lot of that wouldn't fly in COVID times. I don't think those names. Too many germs.
Yeah, don't want to have any band named after body fluids.
Speaking of which, not only were you in the movie, but your band Even Steven provided a track.
Thank you, sir.
For one of the coolest, or one of the funniest parts of the movie. You probably don't even know, but there's a guy who's a magician. Speaking of magicians, his name's Danny Whitson, who I've become friends with, like I've become friends with you and Tracy, kind of. And he played a reverend who was throwing fireballs like Street Fighter 2. So he was, and so Hadouken. Not like Mortal Kombat, not like Killer Instinct, but like Street Fighter 2. So you can tell I've edited this movie too much. I can quote the whole damn thing just sitting here. But anyway, this was what's crazy about making a movie or anything like this. So he did a great performance, but our extras weren't acting properly. Like, it was supposed to be a Hellfire church service, but all of our extras were...
Can I ask where you got the extras? Were these just people off the street or people you knew?
These were... God bless me. Hack. If you watch this movie's a good movie. It's funny. It's got a good message. There's a whole lot of good stuff to it. The extras are another level of just deliciousness of human beings. I mean,
you told me nothing.
Hack. Our guy Hack, who runs Total Psychopathic Wrestling, has a crew of people that follow him all over the country, to Detroit to watch him wrestle, to Knoxville, all points in between. And they are, God, what can I say, Tracy, that's not offensive? Help me out here, because I'm about to say something pretty offensive. And these people are sweet. But they were told, let's just
They're very dedicated fans.
Okay, that's not helping me out either. That's not helping Nick out either. But I can't help myself out either. So let me just say what I'm saying.
Are these just random people that wrote you on Facebook and was like, I like what you do?
Hack brought them in.
They're Hack's people.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Hack's fans. They're kind of like the East Tennessee.
He pulled up to the Golden Corral with a van and was like, hop in if you want to be in a movie? That's what you're making it sound like.
It's people he knew, though, but it was... Well, we were trying to cast snake handling type church members, so we didn't need people from Farragut and Turkey Creek with their pleated pants coming out. So these people fit the bill nicely. Some of their eyes didn't go in the same direction, if you catch my drift. There was the Hills have. Speaking. Are
you counting that they can't use the technology to actually watch this and send you fucking hate mail?
I love them.
He's rolling some dice.
But,
yeah, he is.
But the thing is, when you say act surprise, and they're like, dude.
Yeah, not surprise party for a coworker surprise.
That's jazz hands. Oh, but it's hilarious. But they are, like, we told them to dress like they're going to church, and there's a girl there who kind of looks trans or something, and she's wearing a hat that just says weed in bold letters. And it's like, what church? Do you know what a church is? I mean, these people are something else. But so this scene that your song's in, all this is a perfect big and funky story because it's just going on forever. But your song, there was no crowd interaction. That was our fault when we were shooting it. And I was like, this scene, Danny Whitson's, this is an important scene. Danny Whitson's performance is great, but everybody's too quiet. And I said, what about a rock song? And there's a song by this band that called Even Steven. Trash TV is the name of the song. And it's about the 90s. It talks about Oprah. It talks about Richard Simmons. It talks about Jerry Springer. It's so 90s. And this movie's in 1999.
Hey, Danny.
Hey, Danny's here. Dustin Bolt, Screw My Pillow, Cody Martino. Hey, what's up? Thank you for the compliment. Lord Pruitt, so articulate. That sounds like he didn't mean that. But anyway, I just want to say your song was a minute long because it was like the first track off the album or something. Great song, and it fit the scene fucking perfectly. Like,
can I interject real quick?
Yes.
It was an old school punk band. Our longest song was like a minute and 30 seconds. The first show we did, this is no lie, we did a show at this fucking redneck bar called Heisman's. And one of my friends was like, all right, man, you're setting up. I got to go to the bathroom. He went to the bathroom, and we only had like 6 songs. We played our whole set in the time it took him to go to the other end of the bar and take a piss and come back. And he was like, what do you mean you guys just played? I was like, dude, we only had 6 songs. Our set was like 7 minutes long.
You guys are like a Mike Tyson fight in the 80s.
We had a song about Mike Tyson called Nibbling on My Ear. It didn't make it to the album. It was terrible. But that was actually the first song we ever wrote together as a band.
Well, again, your song was perfect for the scene.
Thank you.
There's so many. It was so 90s. Dude, this movie has divine intervention all over it. We thought it was going to be too sacrilegious, and I thought, oh my God, it's going to be too Christian or something, but everything worked out wonderful. Stuff like that, where you just like, you watch that scene, I'm like, I put it together, I wrote it, I directed it, but something else happened that was out of my control, and it's perfect. And
well, good, man. I'm actually proud of that album. I'm proud of the interviews that I've done, and I'm proud of that Even Steven album, which came out in early 2000, but it was written in 98, 99. Those are two things that I've done. Most stuff I've done, I've been like, yeah, it kind of sucked. Not because of the product, but I sucked in it or I fucked it up. But I'm actually proud of that album.
Well, I feel the same way. I've produced so many things, and I've liked like 2 things I've ever done.
Yep, I'm right with you, man.
I've wrestled. I've done 1,200 concerts. I've wrestled in 600 matches and 2 movies and 4 TV shows and all that. And I'm like, I think I like 2 things I've ever done. Tons of stand-up comedy. I was pretty good at that.
I got a chance to do a gig on the Nerdist Network. I went up to New York and got interviewed by the Comic Book Club, Pete LePage's podcast up there. And it was at this bar in Chinatown. And for one, I was already drunk and obnoxious. I was asking everybody where I could get a Mogwai. It was like the first time I've been to New York in years. And I was having someone film me. Oh, what was the name? Periscope. On Periscope, if you remember that site. And I was just being obnoxious. I heard you could get a Mogwai here. Where can I get myself a Mogwai? Just being an obnoxious asshole. And then, dude, in that interview, I stunk. It was live. There was an audience there. And I stunk the place up. And my friend came out who I hadn't seen in like 9 years. I was like, gotta come out. I'm going to be on the Nerdist Network. And it was a fucking embarrassment, man. So many of my stories are like, I sucked.
What year was that?
Oh, God. So long ago. 90. No, not 90s. It was in the 2000s. Let me think here.
The Nerdist.
2000. Before Hardwick got the boot, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Years before that. I want to say 2014.
Okay. Well, that's...
2015 at the latest.
I played a concert one time. It was when I switched to playing bass and singing at the same time, and the bass player switched to playing drums, and it was such a bad concert. It's such a bad venue. It's such a bad time. It's such a bad crowd that when I looked back and looked at the drummer, he put his hands on his face like this, and the drumsticks just fell out of his hands and off his face and just crap in front of everybody. He was just like, oh, like it was the worst thing ever. That was hilarious. I've been in part of some bad shit before, man.
Well, I try to only remember the stuff I knocked out of the park, and I think I'm going to enjoy being in this movie. I know Dee did a great job. I think I'm not going to stink it up too much, and I am happy. I keep telling everybody, and I mean this, man, every year when it comes up on my memories, I'm going to see how much of that makeup job when I'm 65 or whatever looks like me when I'm 65. How close she came to nailing it.
Well, you did great. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, your scene's good. This movie's good. This is something to be proud of. It's funny. And I wouldn't sit there and lie if it was a shitty movie. I mean,
we got a release date yet?
I just mailed off the stuff the other day. We're looking at probably 8 weeks now before we start hitting all the services. It's going to be on Amazon. You'll probably have to rent it or buy it on Amazon.
All my friends will get it, dude. They're dying to see me in this.
Tubi, all over the world. Yeah, it's big time, dude. I spent the last 2.5 months pro-resing this thing. It's going to be available in Walmart and Best Buy and all that stuff. So the early buzz is that it's a good damn movie and people are excited about it. So I hope it does well. And then Kirby, who's played in the movie and one of the Big and Funky Girls, she's getting the film festival stuff set up this week. So we're going to start hitting the festivals. And
Okay.
we did real well with the hike, but we were mainly smaller festivals. I'm not going to lie. We're going to do some bigger festivals with this one and ones that we'll travel to if we get accepted and stuff like that.
I was proud to be a part of it, man. And it's really cool that 50 years from now, I'll probably be dust by then, but my daughter will be able to put it in and go, hey, here's that movie. I hope I get to do some more stuff with you guys.
Yeah, you will.
It's a lot of fun.
That's what I was going to say is that this next movie's only got 8 roles, and not even all the main people of Big and Funky are going to be even in this movie. But the next movie is an explosion we had 100 actors in WJHCAM. We'll
Whoa.
have hopefully about 100 actors again in this one. And
well, you can use this property. I'm actually buying this property, and it comes with this house and the house next door, the one with the fence. So you can use this property. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to Airbnb that house or what I'm going to do with it, but I'll have this whole property if you ever want to film anything out here.
Yeah, the next movie is going to be about Oak Ridge and about because all of our movies are about legends and lore of the Smoky Mountain area. So it's going to be about Oak Ridge and basically a computer we're being fired from our company, and a computer is going to have to write our next movie, and we hate it. And so it's going to be our take, a big and funky take on Space Odyssey of 2001, and we're going to involve Oak Ridge and all sorts of hijinks. It's hilarious. Famous people are going to be in this movie. It's wild. We got a big budget for that one, so hallelujah. Nick, I know you have to go, right?
I have to go. I wish I could stay longer. I'll come back though. I'll come back on the podcast sometime.
Anytime.
Next couple months.
Yeah.
Anytime. We do this to inform our fans and entertain our fans, but also tell them what's going on. And Luke's got a big opportunity coming up. We got more movies. I got a huge opportunity. I'm going to be in another movie filming in the 2023. So this train is just starting to roll.
Nice.
And hopefully, and then through Big and Funky Productions, a lot of our other Big and Funky family, Tracy, Travis, Amber, and a couple other people got a cast this week and some stuff. Yeah. So it's just hopefully bigger, better, badder, big fists of funk to everybody. Nick, I love you. Thank you so much for your friendship and all your help.
Bye, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
See you there, Saucey. So why do you hate that guy?
I don't hate that guy. That guy's nice.
That's not what you said backstage. I'm just kidding.
You even said at the very front of the show, like, you just popped in. Like, there was no backstage. Don't lie.
That could have been show business. People don't know that watch this. They don't know what we're doing. They don't know that we're about to make hot love after this damn thing goes off the air. We're not. We're obviously. Well,
don't put that mental image in like the world's head, please.
Just turn around. Vinny and Nancy need to get it on. That movie, WJHCAM, is all about sexual tension between Vinny and Nancy. You know they wanted to do each other. Yes, you know they wanted to do each other the whole movie, right? That was the whole thing about me and Nancy in real life.
I'm so glad you didn't tell me that. Like, while I was trying to act her, because like that would have just made all my faces would have been like so much worse.
It's not like that.
Okay.
Especially with that lady. Good God. She was older than you by quite a bit back then. So when I was like 20. Yeah,
I have heard stories of that not stopping women.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't going to happen between me and the real life Nancy. Not at all. I don't think, man, Desert Island, Zombie, the real apocalypse, trying to she was already past her childbearing years. So there was no trying to repopulate the earth if it was bad. Love of my life. Like I said, we don't normally talk about personal stuff. Tracy, my human is going in to get operated on tomorrow. So say a prayer for that. And we had one of our own in surgery today in the Big and Funky family. So
how did that go?
I don't know because I've been moving all day pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm going to go collapse because I'm pooped. How are you? You pooped too? You sick?
Still sickish. I'm getting better. I'm on the mend. I wanted to like announce to like the interwebs that I'm what?
We're announcing something.
Yeah, I just wanted to like say that you really like throw me off. I'm not going to be as present online, and don't worry about me because I'm just like I'm trying to I read about a very wise man who would during certain hours of the day on certain days would just be silent and not say anything. And I've recognized, I feel like a lot of the things that I say are not given very much weight possibly because I say so much so often. So I'm pulling a page out of Silent Bob's book and gonna say less.
That's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life.
It's not stupid.
That's dumb. I like your feedback. I like your feedback. There's just
no. I mean, like online and on the interwebs.
People like you. You were like 12th for governor of the state of Tennessee. You're in the almost top 15. People like that. People don't silence yourself. Now, if you need to do it for,
I'm just trying to give my words more merit.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought. You're giving your words more lubrication there, it looks like.
I need that too because I'm trying to flush out whatever the hell's wrong with me.
And you got to
I don't feel like garbage anymore.
You got to hydrate for later too. You got to hydrate for later too.
Hydration is key.
I agree. I can't wait.
You're being weird.